Hi, I'm Matt Blaylock, Product Marketing Manager with John Deere, and I'm here in Augusta, Georgia to compare to you the John Deere 5101E and the Kubota M60 series. Before we talk about the tractors, let's talk a little bit about the manufacturer. Now, John Deere is celebrating 175 years in business this year and is based out of Moline, Illinois. We've been building tractors for nearly 100 of those years, and we've got 10 parts warehouses located throughout North America. Now, the oldest part we have in stock is from 1921, and any part in stock in any of those 10 warehouses can be to you by tomorrow morning. Now let's get into the nuts and bolts. I have here the 5101E. It's 101 engine horsepower, and this vehicle is assembled in Augusta, Georgia. The major components, the cab, the engine, the transmission, are all built by John Deere for John Deere. I've also brought the Kubota tractor. This Kubota is an M9960 vehicle. It's 100 engine horsepower, and the major components of this vehicle are sourced from Japan. The John Deere tractor is powered by a John Deere engine. It's a PowerTech 4045, which means it's a 4-cylinder, 4.5-liter engine. Now the Kubota is powered by a 4-cylinder engine, but it's a 3.8-liter. Now, you know what they say, there's no replacement for displacement, which means that the Kubota has to run at a lot higher RPM in order to produce its horsepower. So what does that mean? If these tractors are doing similar tasks, an engine running at a higher RPM has the potential to be louder, create more vibration, and resulting in less operator comfort. Also, a higher RPM creates more wear and tear on components. Another important point I wanted to share with you is that even though these tractors are similar in horsepower, they're quite different in weight. The John Deere is nearly 10% heavier than the Kubota. What does that additional weight mean? It means more stability when moving round bales. It also means more strength. More strength to put power to the ground and to be able to complete your tasks. Now, one of the first things I noticed when getting into this tractor was the floor mat. Now, it's kind of thin and actually kind of spongy. This is because it's got a large piece of foam underneath it. The other thing you'll notice about this floor mat is where the loader joystick goes. Actually, one of the reasons why you buy a cab tractor is to be comfortable, but to also keep the elements out. I can see straight through to the ground here. I don't think this is an effective way of keeping that dust from a hay field out, or that snow in the wintertime as well. Looking at the John Deere, it's got a totally flat floor. Now, as you look at the floor mat of this tractor, it's got a thick floor mat, and it's actually kind of hard to pull away. Now, the floor is flat, and there's no holes in it to let in water or debris. And guess what? There's no foam either to be able to soak up that water. Now, another thing to consider when looking at a utility tractor is how is it going to hold up over the hours? Now, when you're in and out of the vehicle, you can get some grease or some mud or some dirt. These panels are solid and they clean up really well, so the tractor looks well into the years, just as it did on the first day. The 5E tractor has a built-in savings plan. When you select a power reverser transmission, you also get 540 economy PTO. Now, economy PTO is engaged by pulling a lever to the left of the operator and engaging that PTO. What this allows you to do is in applications such as rotary cutting, allows you to be able to run the engine RPMs at a lower 1700 while still maintaining the right revolution outside of the power takeoff. This allows you to continue to cut while reducing sound and also saving fuel. You can save nearly a gallon per hour when running economy PTO over standard PTO. Also in the cab, you'll find that the ergonomics are optimized for the operator. The SCV levers are conveniently placed, as well as the loader joystick, which allows for less fatigue while operating that front end loader. On the other hand, the Kubota does not offer in base the savings plan I told you about on the John Deere, that 540 economy PTO. Now, the other things to look at in the cab of a tractor are the ergonomics. And where is that loader joystick placed? Is it comfortable for front end loader operation? How about the SCVs? Is it in a convenient location? And the hitch controls. These are the levers that you're going to be using quite often when using a utility tractor. In addition to the electronically controlled engine on the Kubota, it also has a diesel oxidation chamber, diesel particulate filter. Now that's used to meet emissions. Now, it's not unlike some of the other solutions on the marketplace today. However, there is one key difference, and that is the system puts a lot of the burden on operation to the operator of the tractor. Take, for example, a simple startup of the tractor. Every time you turn this key, you've got to remember to arm the system, which means pressing this button. Failure to press that button, you've increased your chances for a parked regeneration. A parked regeneration means you have to stay stationary while the filter cleans. This can take up to 20 or 30 minutes, which means you're sitting still and not completing the task that you'd like to complete. So I've spent a few minutes here today talking to you about the differences between the 5E John Deere tractor and the Kubota M60. I've talked to you about the differences in weight, talked to you about the differences in displacement, talked to you about how the economy PTO is standard on the John Deere tractor. The fact is, I could spend hours talking to you about the quality of this John Deere product and how it differs from the Kubota. If you want a tractor that's born to work, you've got to experience it for yourself. Go down to the local John Deere dealer, check out johndeere.com, and get in the seat. If you want a tractor that's born to work, come check out the 5E series by John Deere.